What's up, world? It's your boy AJ, the Black World Traveler. And today's video is talking about me being a father to a child and having a foreign wife. And what I had to go through with a foreign wife. Because I see a lot of guys saying they're going out of the country to get submissive wives and wives that can do a lot. In these days and times, a lot more women are not raised that way. Even if they're raised that way in the third world country, they're only raised that way because some things are against them. You know, in third world countries, a lot of men are abusive. Let's just be real, especially in South America, Central America. There's a lot of women who are single. Majority of women that date online have children. And some of them have multiple children, and a lot of the fathers aren't around. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't know what's going on down there, but it's bad. I mean, the thing is that women do treat you a lot different. You know, they're a lot more, just culturally, they're a lot more attentive. They show interest in you. The thing about it is that when you bring a foreign woman to the States, I don't care where she's from. So for some reason, man, when they come to the States, they just, you know, they act different. They are different because, especially if they start studying the laws and see how laws are geared towards women. A lot of the rights are geared towards women when it comes to children, when it comes to child support, when it comes to, you know, divorce and basically a spouse taking half. I mean, there's a lot of things that the women have advantages to. And so a lot of women don't understand why a lot of men today don't want to marry, or they're really cautious about dating a woman here or marrying a woman here. And a lot of them don't even want to bring their women from foreign countries here now. They rather just move over there and live, because when you bring your foreign woman here, I'm telling you, it changes everything. Now, my ex-wife, she was from Australia. She was Aboriginal Australian. I met her when I was living there. We became good friends. We didn't even date at first. We kind of just were friends for a couple of months, and then right before I left, we started like hanging out and dating. I left the country, went to Bali for 5 days, and tried to re-enter the country, and I got denied entry. So I had to come back to the United States. And so on the way back, I had a lot of my stuff there, and then my friend Gwen and her husband, they actually kept some of my stuff over there, because I was young, man, and I was over there. I had stuff there. So I was able to take my equipment, my studio equipment to their house, and then my ex-wife at the time we were dating, she went over there and got my equipment. I had it upon it. It was going to cost too much to send it back, so I had to just sell it. Then she got a plane ticket. She came over here. And we were saying, let's get married. Like we got along well. You know, she's my best friend. I was her best friend. But I think she thought because of who I am, and I was a nice guy, that I was a sucker, basically. And so when she came over here, you know, she had 2 kids, and I didn't have any kids. And I'm telling the story because I just want men to understand that when you deal with any woman, you got to see the qualities in her. You don't care where she's from. You have to see the qualities in her. And you got to make sure the qualities that you see are real, because, you know, I ain't gonna lie, my ex-wife, she was cool. You know, she would cook and all this stuff. I'd go to her house, we'd hang out. When she came over here, she was different. She was always just argumentative right off the bat, just always was picking a fight. Like every day there was a fight. From the day she came to the day she left, she constantly picked with me. And I never seen this side of her until she got here. And then she had 2 kids, and, you know, the kids didn't come because they were supposed to go to their grandparents. Every year, her 2 kids went to their grandparents' house on their father's side. It would be there for a month. She was going to be here for a month and go back. Now, at the time I was there, because I was 28, I was kind of like, you know, I never had a child. You know, I was kind of, didn't really date much. You know, I had like probably 1 or 2 girlfriends my whole life. And so we ended up getting married here. And then we got married, man. She just was like, the first week, she's just like, I'm not cleaning, I'm not cooking, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going to be your slave. I'm like, well, what are you here for then? Well, I'm here because I want to get married to you. Like, but you don't want to do nothing. No, I'm just going to, you know, she just wanted to sit up and look cute. I don't need you here for that. So I said, well, you're not going to last. You know, and so she ended up getting pregnant. The funniest thing is that before she came, she was acting really strange when she got here. And right before she came here, a Navy ship came in town, and she hung out with the dudes. And I, you know, she's a grown woman. I can't tell a grown woman what to do or not. But I know when she got here, she was really skinny. She lost a lot of weight. And I was like, how did you lose so much weight so fast? She said, oh, I think I had stomach flu because I've been throwing up and stuff for the last 2 weeks. And I'm thinking like, stomach flu, okay. At the time, I'm not thinking. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I was like, damn, you know, we talked every day. So, like I said, the longer she was here, the more funny she kept acting. She saw a commercial one night telling, oh, my breasts to grow. You know, I want a breast job or something. And then as soon as we finally had sex and she found out she was pregnant, like her body, everything started happening so fast and it looked really suspicious. There's a lot of things that I found out, you know, that I was finding out about her when she was here, that she was very vindictive. You know, she told me some things when after we got married, how, you know, her girl cousins didn't like her because her oldest 2 kids, basically, that was her, I guess that was her oldest 2 kids' father was her cousin's boyfriend, and she said she wanted him, so she took him. And her cousin had a baby by the same guy. So her and her cousin has kids by the same man. And she told me that after we got married. And I was like, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have got near you at all. And she said, well, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. So I knew I had a problem. And every day she just argued and argued every day. Everything was an argument every single day. She's always finding something wrong with me. I was never right. I was never right. I was always wrong about something. And I was at work. I would call her I had 2 breaks and a lunch break. I would call her on every break. I know she was at home. And she was at my, you know, I was staying with my parents at the time because I just got back in the country and I was trying to get things right together. But my plan was to get married and go back to Australia. That was the original plan. And then, man, it just got bad. Then she started jumping in my face all the time, telling me to hit her, like wanting to fight. And she did that for like the whole time she was here. And then one day she got mad at me. I said, you look cute. She said, don't tell me I look cute. She got mad. And I'm like, serious? I just walk out. She's like, don't you leave. So I left. When I left, she came outside. She was running around the car, and I took off, and she threw this brush at me. And the brush almost hit me in the head. And I threw my elbow. It hit my elbow. It hurt like hell. And I just looked at her, smiled, and drove off. And I went to FedEx Kinko's, and I bought her a plane ticket, a one-way ticket, because her round-trip ticket to Australia expired because she's only supposed to be there for 30 days. She ended up staying for 86 days, which is crazy because her kids were still over there. And that was a red flag, too, because she left her kids with the grandparents, which I knew something was wrong, and I wasn't feeling that. And it just started turning me off, and it just wasn't working. The marriage was not working. And I was like, you know what? This is not working for me, man. Let's just walk away. And she didn't want to sign anything. She didn't want to sign the annulment or nothing. I said, well, you got to go. I got you a plane ticket to go back. And she's like, what? I ain't leaving without you. You leaving without me because I can't take this. I can't take you, you know, you're not doing nothing here. You know, and then you kind of acting funny with my mom. My mom made a joke. And so my mom checked her on it. You know, hey, man, you know, I was joking with you that day. You walk around my own house not speaking to me. And my mother's pretty vocal. So they ended up, you know, squashing that. But yeah, 86 days, man, she was out of here, man. I got her a plane ticket and sent her back. And she was pregnant. And when she landed in Australia, she had to go, what happened, she told me, actually, on her way here, she told me that she was gonna, you know, come in for 30 days and go back. What the truth is that she moved out of her house that she was staying at in Australia, in Cairns, and she sold everything, and she came here. So I think I don't know what her motive was, but it backfired on her. Everything just seemed weird, you know. I didn't trust her when she told me the situation with her dad, her kid's dad, who used to be her cousin's boyfriend. And so from that point, I just felt like I couldn't trust her. And so from that point on, man, I just, you know, and then when she left, you know, I was just sitting there thinking, like, I started putting things together. Because right before she left, you know, the baby she was pregnant, of course. But let me go back. Before that, after we, you know, had sex, whatever, and we got married, you know, she took a pregnancy test a week later, and it came positive. And she was crying, like, oh, man, I'm not ready for this. I didn't understand what she meant. So she took another test. Same thing happened. It was positive. She said, I'm not ready for this. But her body was developing. Then after that, her body started just developing. It was starting way too fast because her breast grew within a week after 2 weeks after being 2 or 3 weeks after us hanging out. I mean, her being here. I think it was the second week we had sex on the last week of that April, and in the second week of May, her breasts were fully grown. Second week of June, she had a complete stomach, like a pouch with a baby in it, and it was just happening too fast. And I was questioning it. So right before she left to go back to Australia, I bought a ticket. She was going back that week. We went to see, what the status was of the baby. So we went to a doctor, and the doctor took her blood and urine. And I remember I was going to work, and the doctor called, and we missed a call, and the doctor had a message saying it's important. Kiona called me, it's important. So I don't know what the doctor told her, but I tell you, the doctor said it's important to call. Give him a call, and I went to work. So when I got back that day, she was like, yeah, I got an appointment with the doctor on Monday. I said, okay, cool, no problem. So Monday we go to the doctor's office, and this is where it got strange. We get to the doctor's office, and they said, she said, I'm here for an appointment for Kiona Jones. It's like, sorry, we don't have you down for an appointment. It's like, what you mean? She said, I had an appointment. He's like, no, we don't have you down for an appointment. So that was kind of strange, I was kind of, I wasn't tripping at first. And then later that day, she said, hey man, I rescheduled another appointment at another office down the street on Wednesday. Cool. So Wednesday comes, we go to the doctor's. Once again, oh, sorry ma'am, we don't have you down for an appointment. Now imagine, she's leaving Sunday. So we trying to figure out what's wrong with the baby because they told her it's important she call. I don't know what the doctor told her. But whatever it was, she left that Sunday. I don't know what the doctor told her. We don't know what the status of the baby was. So when she got back to Australia, and I found out she didn't have nowhere to go. She had to go to a shelter because she gave her place away. I don't know what her plans was, but she basically wasn't supposed to give her place away. She gave her place away. I don't know if she planned on staying here, but she wasn't going back to get those kids, her two older kids. So the day before she was heading back, she told the grandparents, I'll be there in 2 days. And they said, we're not giving you the kids back. These kids are malnourished. You're not getting the kids back. She's on the phone crying, like, no. They're like, no, you're not getting these kids back. So then when she got back, she had to go to court. She had to fight with she had to go to court, try to get her kids back. And, her mother was telling me that, she was dressing appropriately. She came there in like a mini skirt. She was talking to the judge, and the judge didn't grant her kids back. So she was pregnant. She had to go to a shelter. I couldn't help her. I mean, the whole time she was here, I was sitting in and I ain't gonna lie, man, I was in a position that I never put myself in. But I know if I date a woman and she had kids, it comes as a package. I was sending those kids money because I was married to her. They were with their father's parents, So I did it because, I was with a woman that I was with. But when she got back so the whole time she was here, I made sure that those kids were covered because that was my, me being a stepdad or whatever, that was my job. But the minute that stuff broke apart and she went back to Australia, I said, you on your own. I said, my daughter's born, I got you. But until then, I lost my car. She got my car repo because she sent the money and spent the money for her to pay my car note. I ended up losing that. I just kept losing with her. And she kept saying, I'm going to use all your money. I didn't have much. But I ended up losing my car. I had to go buy another car cash. I was working a physical joif It was a lot of things going on. And basically, man, I got tired of losing with her. And if I get with somebody and I lose with them, they need to go. So she got back to Australia. She's like, man, I'm in a shelter, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I don't know, it's on you because you chose that. Like, why did you give your place away? Why did you do all that? Because you only supposed to come here, we supposed to get married, you supposed to went back, and then the reason why she came over, because when I was in Australia, I tried to re-enter the country, and I had lost my privileges to travel there for 2 years. That's why she came over here. That's the only reason why. So I couldn't go back to Australia for 2 years. So what happened was that, she was pregnant, child was born, looked dead on me, and she had my daughter, and, You know, it was sad because they didn't really have nowhere to go, and I tapped out of money, so I was like, you know, you need any help, I got you. So I automatically started helping, like, what you need, you know, how much money you need. I would send money to him. But it was always a thing where she was like, well, I want to get back together. I'm like, nah. I told her, I said, you know, if you keep acting like this and you get in my face every day and arguing with me, when you get on this plane and we don't go to counseling or we try to fix this thing in this marriage, when you get on that plane, it's over. And I told her that, and I meant that. So she was over there trying to figure it out. You need to talk. I would call my daughter, talk to her on the phone, and then I wanted to go visit. When I got my chance to go visit after 2002 November, I was given my rights back to go visit. She never would let me come visit. She'll make all kinds of excuses. Oh, I don't think it's a good idea, you know. And then, you know, oh, you should come. And then she'll tell me she's seeing some dude. And then it got to where, oh, you got to come here. I'm going to come to the States. I'm going to bring our daughter, but you got to come to San Diego. Then she said she was seeing this dude. I had to come to Kentucky. So every time when it came for her to bring my daughter over here, she did this for a couple of years, she would make an excuse. Oh, well, if you want to see her, you got to come here. So finally I asked her, why every time when you say you're going to come here, why do I have to go to another guy? Well, I can do what I want to do. She, you know, she's my kid. I said, no, she's our kid. And then finally, the last thing that hit it, she said she was coming to Atlanta with her friends, and she said, I'm not even bringing her. And I'm like, how you gonna not bring my child when I never met her? Like, you're not allowing me to be with my child. So this has been going on all through my daughter's first couple of years of life. I was always not given the chance to meet her because I wanted to, my plan was to eventually move back over there. But then I started learning, you know, what you have to bring to the table to come to Australia. It's a lot more than what you think. And so I asked her one time, can you sponsor me? Because if you sponsor me, I can come over, then I can come visit her. She said, yeah, she agreed to do it. And then a week later, she backed out and said, no, I can't do the sponsorship. So I had to find another way to come to Australia to live because I didn't know no other way to do it. Because if you look at the requirements you need a lot of requirements to be able to move to Australia legally because, you know, they want you to bring a job or, you know, or some kind of a business. You got to bring something to the country. And then I didn't know you could get an immigration lawyer till like later on. But so I went on all those years and I was trying to get the divorce because we were still legally married and she was over there. And so I was trying to get a DNA for my daughter because I needed the DNA. No lawyer would take on the case, you know, here unless there was DNA because you had to have mandatory DNA in the States. She wouldn't do the DNA. And then I stopped sending her money because I would send her money for my daughter to get clothes and stuff. She never would have nothing. And then I'd call down there and her family like, man, she left her daughter here and she ain't got no clothes. So one time she left her for a whole week and I had to basically go to the store and find clothes in her size. I was asking strangers, hey, what size does a 3-year-old wear? I never shopped for a child before. Because every time I asked, you know, of course, I would ask her what size she wear. She'd tell me she didn't know her sizes, which is crazy. So I went to the store and just bought some stuff in the 3T. I bought some outfits and underclothes and stuff. Then I sent her aunt money to get her some underclothes and be able to feed her while her mom was gone. Her mom left her for a whole week. And I'm over stressed out because I got a child over here in Australia and get no treatment. So then finally, the mom comes back in town. A week later, she calls me cussing me out like, what are all these clothes? Why these clothes are all big? They're too big for her. And I'm like, well, I've been asking you what size you wear. I don't know what size you wear. I never had a child. So she always used that against me. So I said, I'm not going to keep sending you money because you're not doing it correctly. Like, you're not getting her things. Like, there's no way in the world. And then you left her for a week with nothing, and she had nothing but one outfit. And you literally left her here for a week, and I had to go buy her clothes and express mail her clothes, which was high as hell to send, you know, from the States from Australia back then. And I had to send money to her until to get her other stuff, other clothes to wear while Kim left her. So I went through that whole thing, man. And then after that, you know, it just got bad. Then the DNA thing got crazy because I was trying to get a DNA test because I wanted to show that I'm the father. And I wanted to be able to get my rights as a parent so I can have visiting rights. And I would have the document so I can give it to a lawyer and do the divorce. So 16 months, she never did it. She wouldn't do the DNA for the child, so child support was sweating me kind of hard because I wasn't sending money to her. I said, no, I'll send money to her, but it has to go through child support, so I know she's getting it, and then anything else she needs, I'll pay that. But I want to make sure that she's getting supported by you guys, by law, so I know her money's going to her. Because I send her money, she doesn't, use the money correctly. So the child support agency told me, we can't make her take a DNA. I said, well, you can't make me pay. I don't have a problem paying, but I need a DNA because I need this divorce and I need parental rights. They said, well, you have rights. I said, I don't have rights. I never signed a birth certificate. I wasn't there when she was born. I need rights. So what happened was that I ended up her worker at child support told me, okay, man, give me the address of the place where you took your DNA. Because I took my DNA in 2004. He said, give me the number and I'll order the kit and I'll tell her she got to take it. I can't promise you nothing because by law, the woman ain't got to take a test, but I'll tell her she has to. So the testing kit came in and she got the kit. And she never took it. She had the kit for 4 months, never swabbed my daughter in the mouth to get the results. And so the child support agency, one day the guy called me and he was yelling. I mean, we were in a shopping match. And I told the guy, I said, man, haven't I been cooperative? I said, you called me from another country. If I didn't want to deal with, if I didn't want to take care of my child, I just wouldn't answer my phone. I said, bro, haven't I been cooperative? He said, you know what, you are right. You have been cooperative. I said, so why are you giving me such a problem? She's the one that's giving the problems. I just want to make sure my daughter's taken care of, because I'm over in another country and I got a child over here. Until I can come there and be there for her, I want to make sure that she's taken care of. He said, okay. He said, matter of fact, let me put you on hold. I'm going to call her because she's been having this kid for 4 months. So he calls the ex-wife and she said, he asked her, he said, yeah, man, have you taken the test or you swabbed your daughter in the mouth? She said, oh, I didn't know what it's in the envelope to. So he clicks over the line. The first thing he does is apologize to me. He said, sir, I'm so sorry. I apologize because I'm wrong because you have been cooperative. He said she literally told me a bold-faced lie that she didn't know where to send the testing kit to. He said, sir, they sent the kit to me. It's a FedEx envelope. So I know that she's lying because all she got to do is swab the child 3 in one cheek, 2 in the other cheek, put the Q-tips inside of the plastic, put it inside the FedEx envelope, and drop it in the FedEx box because you already paid for everything. And I paid like $394 for the whole process. I never got it done. So he was telling me, well, I'm moving to another facility. I'm not going to be in the mainland area in Australia. I'm going to be on the island in Hobart and in Tasmania. That's the island outside of Australia. And so he ended up getting transferred to Tasmania. So I ended up getting a lawyer. Same thing served her. She wouldn't sign it. She wouldn't do the DNA, never. I went through it twice. And yeah, man, that's what I went through. This is it's chapter 1 of me marrying a foreign woman. Keep your eyes open. I'm gonna do chapter 2 real soon. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and share. It's your boy, the Black Boy Traveler. And I'll see you on part 2 of marrying a foreign woman overseas. Holla.